Good morning, students. Today I am going to start one new chapter with you. They are how, when, and where. It is a chapter of history. Dear student, first of all, I want to tell you that what is history. History is the study of past events, the record of past events. Up to now, in 6th class, you have read about the earlier times, and then in 7th class, you have read about the medieval time. Now, in this class, we are going to discuss the things or the rule under the Britishers. How they came in India, how they rule in India, how their rule affects us. We are just going to discuss in our coming chapters. Now, first of all, as we just ask a common person that what is history? Do you like history? So for these two questions, first of all he said, no, I didn't. Why? Why he don't like history? Because always there is a one common answer that there are too many dates. We have to recall each and every date. So I don't like the history. Now, do you think so? Have you ever noticed that everywhere we are just finding some answers? Suppose you are traveling by a bus or a train. Everyone just keep on thinking once a time that how does the train comes into an effect? How did the people they start? When did the people they start traveling from the train? How did they introduce the things, such kind of things? So every time there is a question in our mind: how and when and where? How the things they have started developing? When and where? Who was the first person to introduce such kind of things? When we just recall all such things, so we consider it a history. We just follow, we just want to know these developments that we have our ancestors they have done in earlier times. So here the question arises, first of all, how the historian they divide the history. There are different views of different historians. Earlier, the life moves around the kings. So, the things which are available to us in the form of the inscriptions or the monuments or the coins or anything else which is available to us, that is only related to the rulers, those who ruled at that time. How? Because at that time, the people they were in the habit of writing their biographies or autobiographies. So they always have just have a thing in their mind that they have their story in their written form, in the written form. So the historians they have written a lot of things about the kings, but here again two confusions are there. One thing, a very little things are available for the common people. Only the rulers, how they live, how they spend their life, when they born, when they died, how they rule over the thing, what they have developed, what they have introduced. Only such kind of things are available to us. But no common people life things are available to us. The next thing, at that time, no printing press was there. The historians they have to write with their own hands. So some of the manuscripts they have just spoiled because of insects and the natural hazards. Now here the historians when they copy with their own hands, so maybe unknowingly they have introduced some of the changes because of writing with their own hand. So the history is available to us in a different forms with the different hands, so it is not the same. So there was a time when history was an account of battles and only big events. It was about only rulers and their lives. The historians, they have written about only kings. And now, from if you see your textbooks also, it has been changed. Now earlier the dates were written, now the events were written where the things are developed, how they are developed, when they are developed. So it is not about the dates, it is about the history of the past. So I'm just giving you one example which has been just mentioned here. British historians in India, if they have written about the British rule, they have it is history the written by the Britishers. They have written about their governor generals, when they came, what they have done, how the viceroy it comes, how it is changed. They have introduced only such kind of things. All the dates in these history were linked to their own personalities, in their activities, policies, achievements. It has written from the side of the Britishers. Now, how do we periodize? Some of the historians, they have periodized the history into three areas: one the Hindu, Muslim, and British. Sorry, I first just want to tell you, yes, Hindu, Muslim, and British. And why they have divided the history in such areas? Because in Hindu area they are just telling about the Hindu rulers, and they are just thinking that at that time only the Hindu ruler were ruling the area. And in Muslims, at that time the Muslim rulers they were ruling. And in British time we are just going to study about the British rule. But it is not correct. When the Hindu time was there, so some Muslim rulers were also ruling at that time. And when the British rule was there, some Indian rulers or the Hindu and Muslim rulers, they were also ruling at that time. So it is not correctly. So we later, why the mill they have divided the history, and he has a thought that the Indians were not civilized. We have to be civilized. We have to learn some etiquette manners from the Britishers. Later on, another classification done from the historians, they have divided the Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. Still, it is not properly correct, but we are following the same. Now, what is a colonial? As I've told you in the starting of the chapter, that in this book we are going to discuss the things under the British rule. Means at that time when the Indians they came under the British. That period is also called as the period of colonization. So dear students, this is all for the day. The rest of the thing we will discuss in the next video.